Welcome to the Belated Tech Channel's 82nd edition, the second year of the Space and Tech Rewind. We are reviewing the milestones that occurred on each day in the week of December 27th through January 2nd in space exploration, science, and technology. December 27th, 1923. American inventor Michael Joseph Owens died on this date. He was 64. Owens invented the automatic glass bottle making machine that revolutionized the industry. His mechanization of the glass blowing process eliminated child labor from glass bottle factories. He took out patents in 1895 on a glass molding machine capable of crude results. In 1903, he formed the Owens Bottle Machine Company. By 1904, his continuing improvements led to patents on a machine capable of producing 4 bottles per second. Owens machines could be built with from 6 to 20 arms, each blowing a bottle. He expanded with a factory in England in 1905. He retired from management in 1919 to focus on inventing, and eventually held 45 U.S. patents. In 1929, the Owens Bottle Machine Company merged with the Illinois Glass Company. In 1935, the combined entity merged with Corning Incorporated to form Owens Corning. The company split in 1938 into Owens Corning, which makes fiberglass composites, and Corning Incorporated, which makes glass products. Corning is probably most famous for its Gorilla Glass product used for screens and cases in mobile devices manufactured the world over. December 28th, 1839. It is said that dry cleaning was accidentally discovered in France on this date, when French dyeworks operator Jean-Baptiste Joly upset a lamp containing turpentine oil on his tablecloth and noticed it had a cleaning effect. He is thought to have opened his first dry cleaning shop on Rue Saint-Martin in Paris in 1845. This story, which appears to be apocryphal, is similar to several others that hold in common a central theme: that fabric was accidentally saturated with a volatile liquid, and, by surprise, the material appeared clean after it dried. In the United States, the invention of the process of dry cleaning is generally credited to Thomas L. Jennings. Jennings developed his dry cleaning process in 1821. He called it dry scouring. His customers often complained of their clothes being ruined by stains, so he started experimenting with different chemicals that could protect the fabric while removing those stains. Thomas later became a prominent abolitionist. He died in 1876. He was 85. December 29th, 1989. Hungarian-German rocket engineer Hermann Julius Oberth died on this date. He was 95. He is recognized as one of the 3 founders of the spaceflight, the others being Russian Tsiolkovsky and American Goddard. After being injured on the Russian front while fighting for Imperial Germany in World War I, he drafted a proposal for a long-range liquid propellant rocket. Much like the Russian Imperial Army with Tsiolkovsky and the U.S. Army with Goddard, the Prussian War Ministry rejected his designs as fanciful. Even his PhD dissertation on his rocket design was rejected by the University of Heidelberg, although it was accepted by the University of Cluj in Romania. Like many scientists in Germany and Eastern Europe, Oberth was swept up by Nazi Germany to work on the V1 and V2 programs. He was transferred in 1943 to a Wehrmacht skunk works that was developing rocket-propelled anti-tank weapons. At the end of World War II, his activities and Nazi sympathies, although repulsive, were not viewed to be war crimes by the U.S. Army, who released him and his family to Switzerland. After a stint as a consultant to the Italian Navy, Oberth ended up working for Wernher von Braun at the U.S. Army's Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville, Alabama, between 1954 and 1958, and then Convair Corporation on the Atlas rocket program from 1960 to 1962. He retired to West Germany in 1962, but returned to the U.S. in 1969 to witness the Apollo 11 launch, and then again in 1985 to witness the Space Shuttle Challenger launch on the STS-61A mission. He died in Nuremberg, Germany just after the fall of the Iron Curtain. Enjoying our content? We issue new videos every week, so be sure to subscribe so you stay current. Subscribing is free, and we encourage you to browse our 350-plus video library, where you can find more milestone installments for every day of the year, as well as tech documentary segments, current events in space exploration, science and technology, gameplay recordings, reviews of tools and equipment, and reviews of small electronics and appliances. Each video is tagged with an alphanumeric identifier in the title, so searches for particular segments are quick and easy. December 30th, 1941, the first Liberty ship, the SS Patrick Henry, was delivered at Baltimore, Maryland to the U.S. Maritime Commission on this date. It was built in 244 days and launched on September 27, 1941 by the Bethlehem Fairfield Shipbuilding Company. It was the first of 2,741 Liberty ships launched, of which 385 were built at Baltimore in a 3-year World War II emergency merchant ship construction program. The SS Patrick Henry could average a speed of about 11 knots and had a general cargo capacity of 9,146 tons. The American patriot, Patrick Henry, had ended a speech on March 23, 1775, with the phrase, "Give me liberty or give me death." Hence, the emergency ships became known as Liberty ships, after President Roosevelt said their mission was to bring liberty to European allies with relief supplies. The Henry survived World War II, only to run aground off the coast of Florida in 1946, an event that consigned her to the U.S. mothball fleet. The ship was scrapped in 1958. December 31st, 1805. The last use of the Republican calendar introduced after the French Revolution was on this date, which was the month Novos, day 10, year 14 on that calendar. We covered the beginning of the Republican calendar in milestones 129. It was used in government records in France and other areas under French rule, including Belgium, Luxembourg, and parts of the Netherlands, Germany, Switzerland, Malta, and Italy. The new emperor, Napoleon Bonaparte, had its use abolished, and from the following day, January 1st, 1806, France would use the Gregorian calendar again. Following the disastrous Franco-Prussian War, and during the subsequent takeover of Paris by revolutionaries from March to May 1871, the Republican calendar was reinstituted in the city, but restoration of order by the French army of the Third Republic returned Paris to the Gregorian calendar. Have you agreed with our choices, or do you think there are other events in space and tech history that were better? Go ahead and share with us by dropping a comment below. If you have suggestions for other space and tech milestones, let us know. We'll credit milestones we pick for future videos to those viewers that post them. And don't forget to click the bell notification icon so you don't miss upcoming videos. January 1st, 1925. A paper by American astronomer Edwin Hubble, read by H.N. Russell to a meeting of the American Astronomical Society in Washington, D.C. on this date, described how Hubble had realized that the Andromeda Galaxy was at a far greater distance than, and thus not part of, our Milky Way galaxy. That revelation significantly extended the known view of the universe. Hubble had observed Cepheid variable stars in the Milky and Andromeda galaxies. He applied Henrietta Leavitt's discovery that for such stars, pulsation rate and absolute brightness were related in a predictable way. If two such stars have the same pulsation rate, they have the same absolute brightness. If one appears less bright, it is farther away. Comparing apparent brightness with absolute brightness, known from the pulsation rate, gives distance measurement. Later scientific measurement established that the Andromeda Galaxy was 2.5 million light-years from Earth. The Milky Way galaxy is about 160,000 light-years in width. January 2nd, 1959. The first lunar space shot to escape the Earth's gravitational pull was launched by the Soviet Union on this date, on an 8K-72 rocket from the Baikonur Cosmodrome's Launch Complex 1. Just over 34 hours later, instead of impacting the moon as intended, due to a guidance system error, it passed to within about 3,700 miles and kept on going. Rather than being the first probe to touch the surface of the moon, it became the first spacecraft to enter orbit around the sun. The spacecraft was equipped with instruments to measure cosmic radiation and also the magnetic fields of the Earth and the moon. It released a cloud of sodium gas which glowed due to the sun's radiation like an artificial comet and made it visible from Earth. Contact was lost after 62 hours when the batteries were drained. The Luna 1 is now locked in a heliocentric orbit that completes a full circuit of the Sun in 450 days. As of 2022, the craft has completed 56 solar orbits. On December 13, 2021, Colorado Governor Jared Polis, a Democrat, declared that the COVID-19 pandemic in his state was over. All mandates related to the virus were lifted by the state, although local mandates could remain in place. Polis said, quote, "Everyone has had more than enough opportunity to get vaccinated. Hopefully it's been at your pharmacy, your grocery store, a bus near you, or big events. At this point, if you haven't been vaccinated, it's really your own darn fault. I didn't hesitate to issue a statewide mask mandate in the emergency. The emergency is over. You know, state public health officials don't get to tell people what to wear. That's just not their job." Although a number of states, largely led by Republican governors, have relaxed or refused to impose COVID-19 mandates, none have declared an end to the pandemic, making Polis the first to do so. Notably, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control has not declared an end to the pandemic, and some states like New York are tripling down on pandemic mandates. We covered the origins of the pandemic in our 2019 Year in Review, Milestones 102, and we'll keep you posted on any significant updates. We hope you enjoyed this 82nd episode of Belated Tech Space and Tech Rewind. If so, click that like button. Once again, don't forget to subscribe, or just stay in touch by following us on our microblogging accounts, which are listed below, the community feed for this channel, our Instagram feed, and our Minds page. We announce all new videos and post some unique content on those outlets. And if you prefer an alternative video distribution source, consider visiting our channel on Rumble. Thanks for watching.